I know a great way to end
How would you
an
end it?
HBO show. So there's this HBO show.
Here we go.
What's the one with Zendaya?
Euphoria.
I know how to end Euphoria.
Welcome to this special edition of the After Action Podcast. Let's talk about where the story began. Buffalo's favorite son.
Two journalists walk into a bar.
Yeah, and then they say, it was the bar's fault.
We're like the Texas of football up there.
Yeah, you
we
are.
love the Bills. You get away with murder almost, OJ.
I think it's a combination of things to make a hug awkward. Length of time and position.
You know what's real?
Here we go.
You want to know what's real?
Go ahead.
I don't like it when people come for my friends.
Yeah, so as a story share, it's not a secret. This podcast is sponsored by Remedical. I'm grateful for them.
Veterans should not have to pay in order to get their VA benefits. But here's the deal.
This episode was sponsored by Remedical. Every veteran deserves respect, competency, and clarity when pursuing a disability claim. Of course, we all know the frustration is much more common. If you're looking for a better path and documentation that strengthens your disability rating request, start with our sponsor, Remedical. Re's team of professionals work with a network of experienced physicians, and they've already provided meaningful medical evidence for more than 25,000 veterans. And while they can't guarantee what the VA will decide, 95%, let me say that again, 95% of their clients reported receiving a disability rating of 70% or higher. That's because when you connect with Remedical, they take the time to explain your options before you pay for anything. Free consultations. So don't give up on a stalled process or settle for an unfavorable decision from the VA. Cut through the frustration with accurate medical evidence and a streamlined approach that allows you to pursue your claim confidently. Head over to remedical.com, that's Romeo Echo Echo medical.com to book your free consultation. Check out our link in the podcast section for more details. Welcome to this special edition. I've never said that before.
Is this actually how we're starting?
Hang on, wait, we're starting. Wait, sorry. Oh. Welcome to this special edition of the After Action Podcast.
Yep.
We're joined today by the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Angry Cops.
I thought I was here because you were going to introduce me to Jocko, but he's not here, so this whole thing is a lie.
Sorry. If you would like to meet Jocko, you can start with Jocko Mulk. It's delicious. Go to jockofuel.com.
Get out. Did I walk into an ad?
Did you? I don't know. Did he walk into an ad, but
I don't know. Right into an ad.
I don't know. Anyways, if you go to jockofuel.com, get some malt today. Check this one out. Grass-fed with protein with 95 grams of caffeine. This is the sweet cream coffee flavor. Tastes like a tiramisu. I love it. It's a good way to start your morning. Jockofuel.com. Thank you so much for joining us here. Angry Cops endorsed Jocko Fuel. You heard it here today.
Sickening that you did that so well.
What'd you say? And if you want to find some good merch and support the E4 Mafia, go to angry-cops.com.
We're doing the plugs right off the rip.
I do what I want.
I guess so.
Blas will cut it if it's bad.
You don't care about viewership at all. The first 10 minutes of this is just ad space.
Well, no, we're gonna sizzle it around. We're gonna chop it up.
Okay.
Oh,
so this isn't real. This is all just
what is real. What is real? Sorry.
You know what's real?
Here we go.
You want to know what's real?
Go ahead.
The amount of ass pain that I have to go through in order to get into a USO with my friends who are veterans.
Oh, it's gonna be Burn It Down with Rich and Zach. It's gonna be a Burn It Down episode. I love you, Christy. Forgive me. So before we get into all the many topics, we're going to talk about a few things about being modern day knights, the USO, and veterans organizations. Let's talk about where the story began. Buffalo's favorite son.
Oh, that's a push.
The King of the North.
The King of the I'll go with that.
King of the North.
King of the North. What is that? That's John Stark, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it John Stark?
Eddard Stark. Ned Stark. Eddard was his name, Ned Stark.
Yeah, but who's the King of the North at the Wall?
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
You're Jon Snow. You're Jon Snow.
I'm Jon Snow. I'm the bastard son of Buffalo.
That's fair.
I feel like that's fair.
Everyone else gets beheaded. I don't want to put anything else
Even
on
at the end when they're like, we know who should be king.
Yeah.
Just be like, not this guy. No, it's still somebody that shouldn't be.
We're going with the wolf.
Yeah. We're going with my weird cerebral palsy little sister that joined a cult for a little bit.
Yeah.
What happened to that show? She drops a knife. What happened with the God with many faces? She just decided not to be cool like that anymore. I don't understand the last two seasons. I didn't even watch the last season.
What I think happened was that there was so much pressure because people forget it was season after season after season.
Oh, bangers. There was
then there was like
5 or 6 seasons of amazing.
It's like the first
from
6, and then like whatever. What's the last? How many seasons was it, Blas? This is why I love him. He's pulling it up right now.
7.
7.
I'm almost certain that it's
usually
7
shows are written in 7 seasons. Dude, that's you, bro.
That's you. King of the North.
Yeah, just like I could be
King of the
handsome, but
North.
I'm also kind of ugly if I wasn't like in the position that
You're
I'm
handsome.
in.
You're
Like Jon Snow is not a handsome guy. He's not a handsome actor.
8 seasons.
8 seasons. So like they were like on track doing season after season, but then I think they all renegotiated their contracts and they're like, and then they took like a 2-year break and they're like, I don't know, how do we end it? There's no good way to end it. That's for sure.
You know, I know a great way to end
How would you
an
end it?
HBO show. So there's this HBO show.
Here we go.
What's the one with Zendaya?
Euphoria.
Euphoria. I know how to end Euphoria.
How? Nope. I'm
And
cutting all
then-
this. I gotta cut all this. No, Luca's gonna kill me.
This is gold.
No, this is not gold. I'm so dead.
This is gold.
We're so dead.
Give it to me. I'll keep it. I'll
no,
put it on my shit.
That's fine.
There we go.
Here's the thing.
Compromise.
Here's the thing. What I love about Euphoria is I was worried there wasn't going to be a show to give people body dysmorphia the way that every show gave me. Smallville, Popular. I'm in high school and I'm like, why don't I have traps like that? Oh, I'm not 30. I'm not just like some kid being like, hey, I'm a sophomore. Like there's tons of memes of like early 2000 movies.
Muscle maturity.
Muscle maturity. That's exactly what it is. NHGH. Just dudes being like, I mean, look at all of them. There's not an ugly in the cast of Euphoria. That's the whole premise.
Well, I know there's.
I don't know.
There's
Listen.
one ugly in the cast of Euphoria.
God damn it. This whole section's dead.
I don't know if I can point them out.
Stop.
They are not attractive to me. Don't kink shame me. I'm just not attracted to it.
No,
Don't.
So anyways, you grew up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
What's it like?
Oh yeah, what's up with the Mac Miller knockoff, dumbass?
Well, he's dead now.
Is he?
He killed himself.
In real life?
For real.
It's your fault, HBO.
Oh, it was an overdose, I believe, but yeah. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it sucks because he was actually a really good actor. And like he did pretty good in the show. And like his latest movie, the last thing he did, just released.
Is it any good? It's garbage.
I don't know. It's called like Abigail or something.
Well, you know people are gonna say it's good. Just
They're gonna, yeah. It's. I mean,
No, they're gonna don't try to Heath Ledger this guy.
Heath Ledger was a good actor. That's
Heath
the
Ledger
problem.
was
Yeah,
amazing.
He's an incredible actor.
Until the fucking Olsen twins got a hold of him, and then he became some pill popping psycho.
Well, yeah, he died of benzos, right? Benzos and booze.
Something I don't know. I know
something
that
like
he was
that.
like found dead in like his bed by someone.
By a maid or something.
Something
most
like
likely.
that.
Yeah, like hotel staff. Yeah, dude. He also had a really 28. He made it past 27, but got him at 28.
You know how I want to die?
How?
Shitting blood on the toilet, unconscious, just having explosive red diarrhea smattered against the wall. I want people to think that it's like a scene from Red Rum with
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, some other weird crazy thing.
You know what I love?
You know
about-
anything
that's
about
how-
that?
You know what I love about you?
What's that?
Is that I take a very personal story.
By the time you almost died.
By the time I almost died, most recently almost died, and you've weaponized it against me.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you didn't have such a weak butthole, we wouldn't be friends. If you had a stronger butthole, we wouldn't have such interesting conversations.
No.
Do you think about that?
No, yeah, I almost shit myself to death. Yeah, that was So Buffalo,
Why do you keep trying to talk about Buffalo?
because now it's funny that I keep trying to circle back to it.
Yeah, every time you don't want to talk about a subject that I bring up, we're just gonna. Oh, Buffalo. So
Yeah,
anyway,
Buffalo.
that
Anyway.
place where there's people.
There's people. So what's it like? Yeah,
What's it like living in the Great White North,
yeah.
Mr. Snow?
So you're up there. You're a young rapscallion. I know a little bit about you, but I don't know if everyone does. You've always been a creative. You've always found yourself driven towards the arts.
That sounds lame. Don't say it like that. I've always been a smartass that enjoys like having a good time.
Yeah, but you did drama, right, in high school?
Yeah, I did drama club in high school, but I wasn't like the kid that was running around singing and dancing throughout the entire halls of the high school. That annoyed the shit out of me. There were good kids. Like looking back at it now, they're just, teenagers trying to find their way.
Yeah.
Whatever, they found their clique and they were expressive and that's great. But I would go into the drama club the last 2 years of my high school career, and I would see like massage chains.
What?
Do you remember massage chains? Where like all the weird girls and weird boys that are obviously going to be gay,
Yeah.
if they aren't already, were like sitting in cross-legged and massaging each other's shoulders for like 5 minutes, or they would come up and do the weird extended hugs. Like, they would just
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, this
Let's
is great.
talk about like this thing. It's
No.
been so weird. Do you remember when like 5 minutes ago in study hall, like
oh my gosh, like I just like, human contact. It isn't this, great. And it would-
Yeah.
And I hope that all of you felt that awkwardness in that extended long hug,
Yeah.
except now make it, 5-10 minutes long.
Yeah,
where
I
you're
know,
like,
I know. Yeah, people don't know how to express themselves. I feel like you should have gone up to them and been like, deadlift. Just like, deadlift. Curls now.
wide arm pull-ups.
Yeah. What? I want to give a hug. You give a hug to that pull-up bar.
Can I tell you, this took a really long time. This took a really long time.
Awkward hug. There it is. That's awkward hug.
Yes, it's awkward hug.
Yep.
It's too
Need to
long.
meme that.
And it's-
Yeah.
It's the length of time.
Yeah.
But it's not awkward for the people involved in the hug in Drama Club. It's awkward for the people watching it.
Do you think I think it's a combination of things to make a hug awkward. Length of time and position. Framing. Like how the parts come together.
I'll also go with the sex of the person. Like if it's two dudes hugging and you have those other two things, it's so much more awkward.
Yeah, my daughter's made fun of me today. This week about how guys give hugs. And they're like, guys give hugs like this, and she's like, come up, arm around the back, and I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's weird. And like she was trying to like recreate it with me.
There's 3 taps. You do
Yeah.
the shake,
Yeah.
and then you do I'm not gay, and then you release, and that's how you do it.
Isn't the handshake at the beginning?
It's
like,
a handshake at the
I'm
beginning.
not gay. I'm
And then
about to come in.
You bring them in,
Yeah.
and it's 1, 2, 3, pats on the back.
Pats on
I'm
the-
not gay, and then you release, and that's it.
Too excited. Sorry.
And so let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I don't. It took me forever to get used to hugging, even the bro hug.
The bro hug's
hug's
a cherished hug.
It's
It's a hug. It's a hug for
me,
dudes. It's a
but
great hug.
I hate hugs. I was in high school. I joined the Army, all the way from being a teenager in high school until, gosh, I want to say up until I was like 28 and started hanging out with you weird touchy-feely hippies.
I'm not a hippie.
Okay, you're a content creator, so you're almost there. Everybody, yeah, right?
Yeah, to
And-
find out more, go to Angry Cops.
And everybody like has to hug each other goodbye or hello and say I love you. And it's like I just want to fucking shake your hand. I just want to shake your hand.
You don't
That's
like it when I say I love you?
I respect you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Oh no, shake my hand. Love you, bro. Sweet. How you doing?
Yeah.
You all hug.
Dude.
And even that sounds so gay. I don't even like saying it.
It's
You all
okay.
hug?
Yeah. It's okay.
What are you, my little sister?
We're gonna hug here in a minute.
No, we're not.
We're gonna hug.
We're done. We already did the thing. We've had enough contact the entire day.
I don't know.
No, now we have to rip on each other and tear each other down.
Yep.
And then occasionally throw in but you're still kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because that little bit of that's it.
A little bit of abuse.
A lot of abuse, a little bit of positivity.
Little bit of positivity, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Kind of
we
like the
touched too
Atlanta
much.
Falcons quarterback decisions today. Ooh. What happened there? Rich, break it down for us. What'd they do wrong in this draft? Go.
Okay. So those of you that don't know, the draft started yesterday, and the Atlanta Falcons, a football team in the NFL, already acquired
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins for like a 4 or 5 year deal for $180 million, right?
Yeah.
There's your starter QB for the next 4 or 5 years.
QB1.
$180 million.
Yep.
Nobody's fighting for that job. Now he is coming off of an ACL tear, but whatever. So is Aaron Rodgers. And guess what? The dude's a spiritual dynamo.
Yeah.
With hugs, kisses, and LSD, his knee's now 10 times stronger than all of us will ever be.
Yep.
So what the Atlanta Falcons did is for their first pick in the first round, which was relatively early, I want to say in the top 10 or top 15, they chose a quarterback, a starting quarterback. So now you have the $180 million quarterback that you've got for the next 4 or 5 years. And then you picked up another starting quarterback from the first round who's going to sit behind him for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Listen, Kirk Cousins is good, but he's not Aaron Rodgers sit behind him for 4 years good.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? And my argument that we talked about before this is why it's a bad decision. This is why I believe it's a bad decision. Even if Kirk gets injured, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't get a first round quarterback for the Falcons. You should get your wide receivers. You should get your offensive line.
Tools.
Tools, right? To assist Kirk Cousins. And then in the 4th round, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, you get a quarterback, right? Somebody that, is going to take some time. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Dependable.
Because even if Kirk Cousins gets injured the next year, right? You're screwed. Your season's done.
Yeah.
Your backup quarterback is like 5th rounders. At least you still have these new weapons and wide receivers and offensive tackles that you got from this draft in the first round. So then even if Kirk Cousins is out and he's done forever and he's injured and it's the worst case scenario, the next year your wide receivers that you got from this draft have a year of experience.
Yeah.
So do your offensive linemen that you got in the first, second, third round, right? So now they've got experience. So then when you get that first round quarterback next year, because Kirk Cousins is screwed, now you have some consistency in the offensive line as his weapons to assist this new quarterback. Everybody's already got some time in underneath the offensive coordinator, and now you bring in the new quarterback, and he's the only one that has to catch up to everybody else instead of everybody else trying to be on the same page. It's a horrible decision, and there's replays of the owner of the Falcons talking to the GM.
He's just like, what are we doing?
He's like, hey,
I just gave Kirk guarantee. What was it? 80 million guaranteed.
$180 million over 4 years with $90 million guaranteed.
God damn. He's like, I just wrote a $90 million guarantee
So here's
check.
here's the pushback, and this is what the GM and head coach said. They said that they are planning for the future, meaning that what they're essentially saying is Kirk Cousins isn't in our long-term plans.
Well, I mean, I think that's obvious. He's a little bit older.
Yeah,
Right. He's a
for
little
sure.
bit older. He's coming off an injury. I think a lot of this has to do with what happened with the 49ers. You can never have enough people behind the most important position in football.
Okay, I'll go with
Because
that.
the injury rate in the NFL is 100%.
So
Damn.
to combat that logic, because I love being a contrarian, if they're saying we're looking into the future and Kirk Cousins is not going to be the future, what are you doing for 4 years? 2 years is rebuilding.
2 years rebuilding.
3 years is, okay, we've rebuilt. Now we need to start winning games. 4th is Super Bowl contention.
Yeah.
If we're going in a perfect world.
Yeah.
So you're saying the last year of Kirk Cousins' contract is your Super Bowl year? No. Oh, wait. No, we're saying that he's just a placeholder for $180 million for the next 4 years.
That's
it still doesn't make any sense.
Yep. And one of their things too was that they don't plan on being that low in the draft for the next 4 or 5 years.
That's
is
just-
what they're
that's-
saying.
that's just not-
They said,
that's just
hey,
not true.
We are not going to pick at number 8 for the foreseeable future. Let's get our quarterback of the future now and move on, because we will no longer be in this position moving forward.
I mean, I respect that.
I respect the confidence.
I respect that. I'll never be
Is
here
that a
again.
reality?
Yeah. No, not even close. Not even close. I mean, in the NFC? No
I mean,
way.
at this point, my man was pulling out every damn reason
Yeah.
possible to justify that pick.
They were horrible last year. Their division was horrible.
Yeah.
Then it's not really going anywhere fast.
No.
It's not going in an upwards direction. So they can suck for the next 2-3 years, which is exactly what I expect. Nobody from that division is going to be making the AFC, NFC title championships.
No.
They're not.
There's not. It's not going to
Who
happen.
else is in there? So you got the Falcons, you got the Saints, you've
Tampa
got
Bay.
Tampa and
Tampa.
Panthers or Jaguars?
It's the Panthers.
Panthers.
Oh,
Garbage.
horrible.
Yeah.
Garbage.
See them on the calendar? Dub.
Right?
All of them.
Right? Who's Baker Mayfield's got Tampa?
Yeah.
See Tampa now?
Yeah, he just re-upped
Last
his
year,
deal.
and then he signed an extension. He did
Yeah,
like
he
a
signed
1-year
an
deal,
extension.
and then he's their guy, which
He's-
I'm okay with.
Baker
Yeah.
did well.
Baker did
He did well.
We almost drafted. Everybody wanted us to draft Baker. People forget it was Baker, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen all in the same draft class. And everybody in Buffalo was like torn between, I think Darnold, Rosen, and Josh. And I was a Josh train
Yeah.
from the rip.
Yeah.
I was
Boy,
like,
did
oh, I'm
he-
sorry.
he looks
blue
like-
collar kid working his way up, loves to run, a little reckless with the ball.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Well, he looks like millennial. What's his name? Jim Kelly. Looks like millennial Jim
Don't
Kelly.
ever say that again.
You don't like that?
No.
You don't like
Jim
that?
Kelly's a jizz.
You don't like him?
No.
I thought your town would worship him.
Well, yes and no. He's a very Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills in the 90s used to do a shit ton of coke. And I
Okay,
mean
yeah.
like Scarface bowls of cocaine falling out of a or a limousine with a bunch of hookers. Well, not even hookers, they were just women that were sleeping with them, hammered. And troopers were like, and sheriffs were like, you better win next year.
Yeah.
And then every year they let us down. And Jim Kelly was a known woman beater.
Really?
Oh, whooped the shit out of women.
I did not know
Beat
that.
the piss out of them.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Josh Allen.
Unfortunate story. Well, kind of funny story about Jim Kelly. There's a well-to-do family that owns a tire shop called the Dunns. They own Dunn Tire.
Okay.
And my buddy was friends with the Dunns, and he's drinking with his friend who's the kid of the Dunns. bunch of money.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Multiple times. Yeah. I mean, he might be a great guy now after he lost, all the Super Bowls because everybody enjoyed doing cocaine instead of going for the championship.
That's that whole 30 for 30. They're like, yeah, we went to Vegas. We kind of blew it. And then like the next year, they're like, we didn't really worry about scoring. We were all hungover. Yeah. Like they literally all just get blasted and hammered at the party the night before.
Had a good time.
Yeah.
And then
lost.
And then lost 4 years in a row. Could you imagine if you flip that? If you flip that over, he would be on Tom Brady levels. Yeah. People would have been comparing Tom Brady to Jim Kelly and be like, this division's got gunslingers every year. It doesn't matter that it's cold. It makes them hardy. It makes them throw the ball harder.
They get out there. They air it out.
They get out and they hammer it.
Yeah.
And then instead, he was just like, me and Bruce Smith are going to do a bunch of coke with Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas. And you're like, oh, well.
4 falls in Buffalo.
4 falls in Buffalo. Could you imagine that 4 rings in a row?
In a row.
It's the only 30 for 30 where I'm like, that's just, it's a legitimately depressing thing. Cause like all of them are very still beaten by it. Mm-hmm. He seems okay. Like he's like, yeah, whatever.
Because he knows he fucked up.
Yeah.
He knows he didn't do everything he could to bring
they
that
all fucked up. Which is like another disheartening thing is like you got the whole city behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about some shit? Let's talk about some shit.
Okay.
Marshawn Lynch is a lying sack of shit.
Okay.
All right. He's a fun guy. He's entertaining.
I'm listening.
When he was in Buffalo, he was a hoodlum piece of shit.
What happened?
And he went on the Shannon Sharp podcast and shat on the city. He's like, the Buffalo police, they came after me all the time.
And you are Buffalo police.
I am one now. I wasn't then. He's like, they came after me all the time. They'd always pull me over in my car. They knew it was me. Bro, we don't know that it's you. There are more than one peoples that have a Lamborghini or a nice car that's all tinted out. And either way, he would complain about the people coming in and out of the police coming in and out of the stadium. That's the sheriffs. That's not Buffalo police. It's the sheriffs. Isn't
that their job? Security though?
Yeah.
We won't be able to play this or we'll get copyrighted, but I'm not going to say that's not true. I just don't think they were pulling him over systemically that much.
Well, one, don't drive like an asshole, which, surprise, surprise, somebody blowing through red lights going like 20, 30 miles over the speed limit. No, he got let go all the fucking time. And this is how much of a piece of shit he was back then that he's totally not copping to now, is when he would come into the city and get some drinks, good on you, have a good time. This is an NFL guy, right? We drafted him, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's not making a ton of money on the rookie contracts, but he's still getting paid. Yeah. And he's eating for fucking free in Buffalo.
Yeah, everywhere
we love our football.
You do.
We're like the Texas of football up there.
Yeah,
we love the Bills. You get away with murder almost, OJ. Yeah. And
almost. Heyo. R.I.P.
So, Marshawn would go to the bars.
Yeah.
And he would order a beer. Get a beer, hang out the bar. But he'd have a 40 in his coat pocket.
What?
So he'd drink the beer, and then he'd go into the bathroom, and then he'd pull the 40 out of his coat, and then fill up his beer, and then go out and back in the bar. And the bars often would be like, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, one, that's bad for our liquor license. You can't bring outside liquor in.
Yeah.
And two, we're letting you, like, you're Marshawn Lynch. You're probably going to drink for free, or guess what? You just got to pay the bill like a normal person.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you being a scamming fucking dirtbag trash panda piece of shit? And he would take people's tips off the bar and put them in his pocket.
This is confirmed?
One of them was the wife of the sheriff, or like one of the second or third in charge, deputy sheriff for the county.
Damn.
Like, she was like, hey, what are you doing?
Needs to be confirmed if you're somebody who dealt with him in the city.
Yeah, no, he dealt with him,
Yeah.
No,
like,
he knows.
Cops knew Marshawn. It wasn't like we hated Marshawn. We thought he was great. We thought he had a poor attitude. But he would do stupid shit all the time.
Yeah.
Where you're like, dude, we got to let you take this 60-year-old woman's tip off the bar and pocket it and then motherfuck her? Fuck you, dude. I think he's hysterical now. I think he's funny. I think he's got his shtick.
Yeah.
He's got a thing. I get it. You don't want to follow the rules. Brother, I get it. I don't want to follow the rules half the time, but you get to get away with it. Don't now come shit on the fucking Buffalo Police Department when, one, it's the sheriffs that are stopping you every time you're going in and out of the stadium because you drive like an asshole. And two, don't shit on the Buffalo Police when we let you go a bajillion times for the stupid shit you would pull on our bar strip on Chippewa.
You know what I love about you?
What's that?
You're fucking ride or die for the City of Light.
Dude, this is our actual flag.
Yeah.
You were one of the original, one of the few cities that originally got electrical power.
Yeah, y'all need it. It's fucking cold as shit up there.
It's true.
It's fucking gnarly. It is the coolest thing, hands down, fan base coolest thing. Seeing everyone out there, $20 a fucking hour, get some shovels, clean the fucking stadium.
Oh,
that was That was like, that's fucking football. Dude, I loved it.
The Buffalo Bills are about to kill their fan base.
Why?
Okay. So it happened in a couple of stadiums, but it originated from the European soccer leagues.
Yeah.
Europe, ruining American football. In the European soccer leagues,
Yep.
this is how you get a ticket. You spend, let's say, $1,000 to be a part of the club.
Yeah.
So you're a club member.
Yes.
That does not mean that you have a seat or a ticket.
Yes.
Right? That just means now, as a club member, you're eligible for lotteries and raffles that you have to still buy into and pay for the ticket.
Yeah.
For you to win a ticket.
I'm tracking all this. I'm watching Wrexham on whatchamacallit. Love it.
So I've got like $1,000. I give it to the club. Here's just $1,000 for the potential of me getting a ticket. Then there's some extra tickets. There's a lottery. I win it. And now, because I won the lottery, hey, here's your 2 or 4 seats that you won. Now you need to pay for the seats, right?
Yeah.
So I've paid the club. Now I've won a lotto to get an extra seat because all the seats are sold out. Now I have to pay for the seats, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's annually. That's every year you pay $1,000 for a club fee,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
What the Buffalo Bills are doing now, this is infuriating. And then a couple other teams have done it. I think LA has done it. Is now the Bills are doing a similar thing where you have to purchase the rights for your seats. So you've got a blue collar town that get hammered, jump through tables, support this team for fucking decades of losses. The 4 falls of Buffalo, not making the playoffs for 14 or 13 years.
Yeah.
Not even a wild card
Yeah.
for 13, 14 years, right? And now you're saying, hey,
Let's charge these motherfuckers.
your seats,
Yeah.
my seats, my season seats, my
Yeah.
season tickets up in the 300s and the nosebleeds,
I love it. I love when you're there shirtless, ripping it off.
probably going to be at least around $4,000
Fuck
for the rights per singular seat. So we have 6. My buddy and I split 6. We had a 4 and 2 when
Is
we got
that
them together.
annual? Annual charge for the rights?
So the rights you buy once. But here's the deal, right? So let's say we keep all seats. 6 times 4, 24.
Yeah.
$24,000.
Fucking insane.
So then I can get the rights to purchase my seats, still have to pay the
Ticket fee.
the season ticket fees and the ticket fees.
See, and I know that they do this for soccer in the UK because
The Titans do it as well.
well, but I know it's really big the rights to purchase because they don't broadcast soccer games on TV. Actually, I found that out. You have to go to the club. That's what one of the episodes.
So like they don't go to the seats, they just go to the stadium and watch it?
There's like very few places that have the rights to broadcast actual soccer games, like on television. You got to be at the club or what. Like Rob McElhaney's like, I wish I could watch the game because he wasn't there. So it's like a whole thing. So that's part of like their premise of that. But what I think this will do is this will break the fan base.
It's gonna break the
and
fan
it's just gonna
base.
force them to be like, okay, I'm buying the Paramount package or like whatever. Like even if you still support it, you'll be at home for like $50 a month, and like okay,
I've had season tickets only for a couple years. I bought them when I think Josh Allen was like a rookie.
yeah,
And after his rookie season, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Well, that's a story in and of itself. So basically a friend fucked us over. Like we were buying season tickets from a friend and splitting them with them. They were in his name, but we would split the cost.
Yeah.
And then once the Bills got good, he was like, all right, cool. We'll give you like 2 tickets or
Fuck
2 games.
Yeah,
and it's going to be like us versus the Jaguars, not
Yeah.
even good games. And we're like, oh, so we like split season tickets for like the past 8 years when you were eating costs, when they were giving tickets away at the end of
Yeah.
the year so that we could be on TV.
Yeah.
And now you want to price gouge us?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's the end of a friendship.
Yep.
Fuck me for $30. All right. Hey, I just found out how much you'll fuck me for. As little as $30.
That sucks.
Glad it was cheap.
fuck them.
So yeah, there's the Buffalo Bills now. Buffalo Bills are going to be fucking penny pinching, scrounging. It's disgusting. And now our stadium is like $400 million over budget because New York State got their fingers in it. And once New York State got their fingers in it and said, hey, listen, Pagula is the owners of the Bills. We're going to spot you like, I don't know, like $400 million in order to, make $200 million in order to make the stadium. And but here's the deal. You have to hire all these DEI hires. You have to do all this shit to make sure that there's 5 African Americans, 2 Native Americans, 5 Asian guys, 1 disabled white female. And now everything's just so fucked and backlogged and slow and waiting that Pagula is looking at selling 25% stakeholder in the Bills,
No shit.
which is going to be like $250 million, if not more.
That doesn't seem like that's a good situation.
Well, it's a double. It's
When your owner's like, I need to sell off.
It's two things. One, it's worrisome because how much money is this going to set him back? Like that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But two, it's worrisome because if this is planned, what he's doing is you can't have. It's not like a basketball team where you can have like 30 different owners.
No, it's one.
Yeah,
right?
the NFL is you have
One.
a singular owner.
Yeah.
So what the Bagulas are doing is they're following the rules by saying 51% of the team, the majority of the team, is
Yep.
owned by a singular person, but they're trying to take that 25% of the team and make it like a conglomerate where like 30 dudes can put in, $10, $20 million
it's
and
investment
get
capital.
a quarter of the team. So I'm really hopeful for the new stadium.
It's gonna have a ceiling, right? Whatever
No.
it's going. Huh?
No.
It's not?
Nope.
Never putting a top on it?
There's going to be like a covering over the seats in like the 300s, but the field and like the 100 levels are going to be open air.
Kind of respect that.
Play in the snow, baby.
I kind of respect that.
I got to respect it. Everybody.
it's what Buffalo's known for.
I hate it when people go, we need, it's about the game. It's about, these athletes train so hard. We're letting the weather affect the game. Yes.
It's part of it.
We're letting the
part of
weather
it.
affect the game.
Yeah, it's part of it.
There's supposed to be, whatchamacallits. There's supposed to be like a couple big buffaloes in the front. Like when they originally had the sketch of the stadium, there was like these massive buffaloes that were like 40, 50 feet tall.
That's awesome.
And they were like, no, that's just there for like the drawing. And the entire city was like, no, we want the buffaloes.
So
there's going to be at least one. Hopefully there's three, but there's going to be at least one. And it better be like 30 feet tall.
Do y'all have a Buffalo
Why
mascot?
not 4 to represent the 4 missed opportunities for
That would be
championship?
sick.
Why? What you want a reminder of the 4 missed opportunities? That's a real Titans
Motivation.
fan here, just like looking
Motivation.
for the losses.
Yeah. It's all we got. It's all we got here at the After Action Podcast. And as a Titans fan, they make me upset. Derrick Henry, and then the first time ever they drafted an O lineman. The day after Derrick goes to the Ravens, it kind of broke my heart.
I'm still not afraid of the Ravens.
I don't know. I
think they're a great team, but I'm just not afraid of them in the postseason.
I'm just tired of watching the Titans just break my heart. Getting rid of Vrabes. I don't. That's.
Don't talk to me.
I know. Mr. Four Falls in Buffalo over here.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about the 4 Falls of Buffalo. I'm saying like 14 years without a playoff appearance.
Yeah.
Like
That's a lot.
the Sabres are almost on the same thing. Our hockey team, horrible. I haven't been involved in a Sabres season like where I was like invested in the team. Hey, how are we doing this year? I'm gonna watch a couple games at home, and I think like almost 10 years. They're that bad. I gave up. I was like, I can't watch the Bills and the Sabres 72 games a year and just not even make the playoffs.
Just get abused.
So I was like, all right, who do I pick? The Bills. I picked the Bills.
You picked the Bills.
So they're my boys, ride or die. I'll watch them even if it's a loss. I don't care.
You do.
The Sabres. I'm not a fair weather fan. I still love them. I'll support them. I still go to a game here and there, but it's like I just don't care. I can't spend 72 games a year wondering if we're even going to make the playoffs. They're garbage.
They're garbage.
We
No,
just
it's not.
got a new coach, which was our old coach.
Yeah.
Lindy Ruff, outstanding.
Lindy Ruff. Sounds great. And we're going to hear more about that when we come right back. Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll be right back. Hope you guys are enjoying the episode. If you want to continue to hear more stories like this and to help us grow the podcast, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and to also drop a rating and review. Every bit helps. Thank you so much. Now, let's get back to the episode. And we're back talking about all things Buffalo with the Crown Prince of the North. Angry Cops. You can find everything he's doing at
This
Angry.
episode's going to do horrible every time you say we're talking about Buffalo. Nobody gives a shit about Buffalo.
I know. I'm coming back in. Okay, we're talking about war here. We're talking about freedom. We're talking about all things internet with one of the best out there. The man, the myth, the legend. If he comes for you, just delete your page. AC. Is that better?
You know what I don't like?
Here, no, I don't want to hear it.
You
I don't
said
want to hear.
you said I don't like. AC is going to come for you if you say something you don't like. You know what I don't like?
No.
I
I
don't like it when people come for my friends.
You know what? And that's why I love you.
I don't like it when people come for friends. I don't like it
Here
when
we go.
people do passive aggressive story posts that would be deleted in 24 hours because they don't have the fucking balls to put it into a post.
What are you talking about, Richard?
Talk about Zero Dark 30. I'm talking about Zero Dark 30. I'm going to call it out right now.
Zero block.
What's her name?
Zero Blog 30.
Yeah, okay,
we know,
that's what I
we
meant.
know where they
Zero
stole
Blog
it
30.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It's a catchy name. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Normally don't have an issue with them. They're doing their own things. They're making people laugh. They're talking about veteran things. I've gotten a couple stories from them where
Shitting
they've
on
talked about
veterans.
stuff, and
Yeah.
I've been like, you know what? That's a really good point. I want to talk about that. And every once in a while, people make mistakes.
Yep.
And I'm allowing them to make a mistake. It happens. I'm not perfect. I'm sure that I've said and done something stupid. I know I have. I'm me.
Yeah.
Don't call out my friend for some stupid bullshit and virtue signal to the world about how every veteran doesn't need to pay for getting their VA benefits.
Yes.
I agree with you. Zero Block 30. I agree with you. Veterans should not have to pay in order to get their VA benefits. But here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the facts.
Getting VA benefits is a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. And it's nice to have the option to go to some dude who's a stellar cat at it and say, hey man, $2-3 grand. I just need you to push my shit forward, get it done so I don't have to think about it, and then we're done here. And then it is in a quick amount of time. Oh my God. It's almost like I don't have to think about it. I don't have to sweat about it. And for that exchange of me not having to do anything, I pay somebody for their time so that they can do it. Oh my God. Options. I've got options? No. Their argument, their point, I don't want to say their argument, I don't want to speak for them, but I feel like they spoke enough in their fucking post, is to passively aggressively call you out for being some shill.
Yes.
For promoting a company that, oh, forgive me, is paid for their services in helping out a veteran get their claims.
Yes. Yeah, so it was a story share of them sharing. It's not a secret. This podcast is sponsored by Remedical. I'm grateful for them. They came forward, and I've spent background. 2011, got out of the military. Since then, I've been working with nonprofits. I've helped to pass bills for the state for help veterans getting their benefits. I've worked with every veterans organization under the sun. I know more about this than most other veterans will ever know.
Don't you have like a master's in like business?
And I've got a master's in business administration.
It's almost like you know how to look at a company and say whether or not they're helping you or if they're, I don't know, what's it called? Oh, a loan shark.
Yeah. So there are companies in every industry, in every facet, in every technology that are predatory.
True, which is why I understand why Zero Blog 30 would want to protect veterans.
I do.
But I don't like that they immediately shit on you
instead of talking to me.
In a post that disappears in 24
instead
hours.
Instead of talking to me, yeah.
Instead of being like, hey, what's the actual deal? Or just blatantly saying everybody that charges money is a shark. Well, that's just obviously blatantly not true.
What's weird is when people have my phone number and then they post about stuff online and then like, that's just, I don't want to say it's unprofessional. You can do whatever you want.
I just think it's rude. We're all in the veteran sphere, and like now what? Now we gotta now you, Zero Blog 30, gotta create some sort of weird imaginary beef with my boy in some weird passive aggressive way. At least make it a normal post. Well, no. Now you sent all your fucking followers to my guy's page to be like, they're a fucking shark. They're a shark because, oh my God, it's the internet and people don't fucking think.
Well, what they're referring to with the shark thing is there are companies you can pay, bless you. There are companies you can pay that they will take a percentage of your VA rate, back rate. I don't know. That's not Remedical. Blas is using, can I say that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Blas is using Remedical. How long have you been working on your benefits, Blas?
I have been working on my benefits since 2018.
Since 2018.
Lord.
Since 2018. He's a he's a cop. He's a smart man. He's done a lot of things. He's not doing anything wrong. He's gone the free route. There is an option where he can pay a certain amount of money. Here's what happens. You tell them what you need. They then set you up. They say, you need this, this, and this. Stop me. You need this, this, and this. And you go to this physician. They go, look at your knees. Look at your back. Here's the supporting evidence. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to have a doctor provide you with the medical documentation in order to support your claims. That is why most claims are kicked back, is because they don't have any supporting medical documentation.
It's legitimately a one-stop shop. When I went through the VA and I went through the VSO, you were working with people who did not want to be there.
Yes.
And mind you, every time I went, they were pissed off at the world. You know, it was hard enough to even get an appointment, let alone them be in the office for your appointment.
Yeah.
It's almost like customer service
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
You pay for what you get. right?
Our grandfather said
if it's
that.
a free service,
Yeah.
probably gonna get shitty service. Like, let's be honest. You're gonna pay the premium, but you're gonna get what you're looking for.
And free
you're
doesn't
gonna get the
always mean
service.
good.
No, and free doesn't always mean good.
However, I will say there are some fantastic organizations
Fuck yeah,
out
there
there
are.
that do great stuff, like Hunter 7.
107 Foundation. I love 107
Amazing.
Foundation. I also love the American Legion. They've really taken a very aggressive stance towards getting veterans in the Legion. They've partnered with this gaming company, this gaming nonprofit called Regiment, where they're like having guys meet up, getting younger audiences. I'm not against VSOs. I've literally raised more money than most people will ever see for veterans organizations just to help our community. But
Which is another reason why the post irritated me,
Yeah.
because their 24-hour deletable post that happens, that their story that gets automatically deleted in 24
Yeah.
hours basically calls you out for being a shill.
Yeah.
For being like, oh, hey, way to take money from this organization that does a great job that we've done no like background checks into, just to automatically shit on anybody that will take money from veterans in order to get them their benefits.
Yeah.
Which is just a free exchange in a capitalist world. But you know what's funny?
Keep going.
Is they sure didn't feel super bad or shillish when they were taking money from the VFW in order to promote them.
Isn't that something?
and say, hey, you should use their abilities, which, by the way, is nothing wrong with receiving money from the VFW for promoting the VFW and its ability to assist veterans. Nothing wrong with that. But don't flip it over on my guy who's saying, all right, this for-profit business is paying him money. Well, so what? You both got paid to promote something that works. Yours was a free service. His is a service that you pay for. They both have benefits. They both have some takeaways that
Yeah.
maybe aren't so great. But the thing that super irritates me is the call out for receiving money. It's a fucking ad. It is what it is. You've done research on the company. It's a valid company. Don't shit on me for taking money when you take money. And two, it's a deletable post that automatically goes away after 24 hours. So you're afraid to put it on your actual website because I guarantee you that there's going to be veterans that go and, hey, I was with the VFW for fucking 3 years and they didn't do shit for me.
Yeah.
And they have a horror story. Or the VA. Hey, this was free and the VA is supposed to do it for free, but they didn't do shit for me. But you're going to get those stories regardless, whether it's a for-profit
last night,
or
I showed you one.
non-for-profit.
I showed you one last night that came in. This guy, I don't want to say, well, he posted it. This guy put his thing out there and he's like, I haven't had any help. Does anyone, I'm going to hire a lawyer or find me a company. Excuse me, I'm on my way to pick you up at the airport. And I'm like, here's what you do. Check this out, blah, blah, blah. They have a 94% success rate of 70% or higher. Now, nothing's guaranteed in life, but if you have the ability to do it, and you're curious about what, you should just look into it. Look into all options. But the number one thing is this. It's not the government's job. It's not anyone's job to educate you as a consumer. Because if they start doing that, they're never going to stop.
Yeah.
Like if they start eliminating options that some committee deems are bad, how do you know that that doesn't eliminate everything? And for the record, there are companies that the VFW has named as claim sharks. They're not Remedical. I've looked at the list. I haven't found anything. There are good reviews. There are bad reviews. That's not a good option.
life.
Dude, here's the thing too, man. Like, they're a company that is a one-stop shop. They're not going to send you to 10, 15 different, locations to go and get looked at for each individual body part.
Yeah.
It's
gonna
like you're
take
paying
care
for
of you.
ease of use.
You know what I'm saying? And they're also a company who's just not going to kick you to the curb once you're done.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to help you, continue to reevaluate you, to continue to assist you. Like, it's not just this one and done type of thing. Like, you're paying the premium, yes, but shit's going to get done the right way.
It took me 7 fucking years. From 2011 to 2018, I spent 7 years. Someone who worked with veterans every day. I worked with state officials. I worked with the DAV. I worked with the VFW. I worked with not the Legion. That's the only one I didn't work with. Everyone that could happen. The only thing that got me my benefits was the secretary of the VA at the time. His name was Bob McDonald, I believe it was. He did a press conference. West Point dude, fucking based as hell. He goes, well, I don't like the backlog. So I tell you what, if you got issues with the VA, here's my phone number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like he did it. He's 8, 9, 10, whatever, however long a number is. He said his phone number.
Man, for a Marine, that's really high. You just counted.
Well, I was like, do I
He
say
didn't even use his fingers. I kind of was using his fingers.
Well,
though.
I was, I was doing the phone number math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because it's 10. But it didn't used to be 10. Whatever. But the point is, he published it, and I called him, and I got his chief of staff, and they go, yeah, we're going to talk to you. And that was the only way it got fixed, was because I literally called the secretary of the VA. He stepped down a few months later because he was like, this is a corrupt system. He didn't say it's corrupt. It's a big machine. He couldn't do enough to affect it. That's how I got my benefits fixed, not anyone else. I would have gladly given upwards of $20,000, I shit you not, just to have that fixed over the course of 7 years. Because it cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, realistically. And I don't care what people use. I really don't care. Educate yourself. Do your own research. It is your job to do that as a consumer. But here's an option, and that's all I'm ever going to say. This is an option. It's no different than, there's a coffee you can try. This one's veteran owned. There's a protein company you can try. That one's like, it's all the same thing. But I'm never going to disparage people or publicly call people out, because ultimately that's not what we're supposed to do.
No.
But it is what we're known for.
Listen,
it is what veterans are known for.
We do backbite each other a lot.
And that's what fucking...
There's another thing that irritates me.
He's got my
like
fucking phone number.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're just like... Your post insinuated that Zach is supporting a loan shark that is stealing from veterans.
Yeah.
And then that every option that is a pay-to-play option is therefore bad. No, that's wrong. And that's like my only bitch with Zero Blog 30. Follow them, watch them, enjoy their content. I do. I'm totally fine with it. I'm saying this is one mistake that irritates me.
Yeah.
And I wish they would have walked it back and not got so emotional and made that post. Because honestly,
we could have talked about it.
It's kind of shitting on a veteran when you didn't need to shit on a veteran.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't fuck anything up. You did your research.
I'm really clear. I go, here's an option you can use for your benefits. There's 1 and 2. It goes back and forth. The two things people ask me about, not in order of precedence, just in reality of I'll have more of one thing, more of the other. They say, how can I get some mental health resources? And there's a bunch of things I'll refer them to, or help with any type of veteran issue. Number 2, how do I get my benefits fixed?
Yeah.
How do I get my fucking benefits fixed? And I'm like, have you talked to your state officials? Have you talked to your local officials? Have you talked to the DAV via all these things? And that's why I start there. Also, here's this company, very transparent. They sponsor the podcast. I'm now an ambassador for them, helping to get the word out about their organization. And you know what's crazy? People click on the fucking link a lot. More than some of the biggest creators on YouTube, they click on the link. It's almost like they're looking for it. It's almost like I fucking know what I'm talking about.
One of the things that irritates me about the post too, this is just a small nitpick, and this probably isn't what they intended, but this is like one of the ways that I read it too, was thank me for my service. I deserve to have everything for free. Bro, you signed up on a volunteer service. You got paid every day that you showed up. You got fantastic benefits from it.
Yep.
Yes, I know. We all deployed. We all got fucked up shit and hearing loss and burn pits, and I shit blood every once in a while, and I don't know what's fucking wrong with me. I get it. I signed up for that. I signed up with the intent of being deployed overseas. Unfortunately, I got Iraq twice instead of Afghanistan because I'm from New York and fuck Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So obviously, I don't think we need to really go into depth in that.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's the thing that honestly breaks my heart.
I deserve it. You need to give it to me. Thank me for my service. It came off as really cringy. Thank me for my service.
Yeah.
Where's my Applebee's free meal? I served this country in Kuwait. It felt like that.
I served this country in Kuwait.
It felt like that. Like it felt like somebody wearing their fucking, their fucking. I'm a not Vietnam veteran, but
Cold War.
I'm a Cold War veteran
guy.
hat.
Burr. Yeah.
Not ironically.
Yeah.
Because they're super. Just one of those weirdos where they feel like they deserve more. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve.
You're saying this is your interpretation.
This is my interpretation. I'm not saying that you don't deserve to have a free way to claim your veterans benefits. I do. I understand that you should. There should be a way where you don't need to pay for it, and there are.
Yeah.
However, when you complain and say, I don't need to pay for it, nobody needs to pay for it, it's all for free, it's all for me. It just seems like a tantrum of, look at me, I need to be thanked for my service.
So here's my perspective on the issue as a whole. As someone who worked at VSOs, who worked at this level, you can fucking Google what I've done for it. No one's addressing the bigger issue, in my opinion. The bigger issue is this. An entire industry has developed that didn't exist prior to the global war on terror. That's crazy.
Because of maybe the inefficiencies of the VA
That never happens.
and perhaps non-for-profits that can't get things done as quickly and efficiently.
That rarely happens in anything. Like, holy shit, an entire industry developed, right? And there are good actors, bad actors on it, but like, that's what we should be addressing. Holy fuck, this is so bad that an entire entity has developed because it's solving things faster. Is it better? Is it perfect? Nothing's better, nothing's perfect. But at least when 9 times out of 10, when you're in these, you're in like a financial relationship with a business. They need to be successful ultimately, because if they're not good with you,
they're not going to continue.
They're not going to continue. And
They
like
flounder, drown,
no
stop.
company really sets out to scam people, because that's literally a bad business model. You can't live off of like just taking people's money.
And people will do that, and that's
Yeah.
a short-term gain, and then they deserve to be arrested and screw them.
Yeah. What I'm for is, I know there's a lot of people pushing the GUARD Act, and we've talked about this on our pages independently.
Yeah.
I am not for that at all. I'm not for the government eliminating what they believe are bad companies or bad organizations.
All of them.
All of them. Just get out. We decide what's best.
Anybody that has to pay for it, no. Like
This is for your own good.
I'm from the government,
this
and
is for
I'm
you.
here to help.
Yeah.
The scariest words anybody can hear.
I'm
quote
out,
Ronald
dude.
Reagan.
I'm out. I'm out. Like, go
No.
away. Don't come near me.
That's another thing that throws me off with their posts is
Yeah.
they're like, we need government organizations
No.
and more government.
No.
And, blah, blah, blah.
Less
And I'm like,
government.
no,
Less.
man.
Less.
No,
Less.
man. I want to give somebody $25
Yeah.
so then they can work their balls off to get every bit more of that $25 because
Yeah.
time is money. So the faster they solve my issue, the more money they keep, the less they're putting into payroll.
I want the right to fucking choose.
I want the right to choose.
That's freedom. I want the right to fucking choose. When you use the government to control freedom and to legislate behavior, that's not what its job is. There's fucking roads. Hey, by the way, there's 2 wars that seem to have no end in sight. Focus on that. Tyler, the last veteran injured in the war, can't get the fucking VA or Walter Reed to pick up a phone. Like, focus on that shit. There's plenty of other shit going on right now. But that's why I'm for, and was it the Plus Act? Is
Yep,
that what we're talking
Plus.
about? They have a verification system or like some
The
accreditation.
government's basically going to say, okay, hey, listen,
Let's do that.
You should have the right to choose somebody and pay for somebody. We'd like to give them a stamp of approval
Yeah.
to verify that they're not a loan shark.
Yeah.
So that way you know,
I'm
hey,
for
this
that.
is an accredited version that you should trust. That's backed up by us.
You can still do whatever you want.
You can still do whatever you want. Do a non-accredited version.
Okay.
But we have standards, and this group meets it.
And you still have the right to choose.
And you still have the right to choose a non-for-profit or the VA.
The second someone says, if you don't, we're protecting you, this is for your own good, I'm out. I don't believe that for a second.
I know better. I know better.
I know better.
No, I don't care if you know better.
No, you're not. You know who does know better? Ford. Let's talk about this for 5 seconds. Boz is going to clip this, but this was Thanksgiving Day, actually. He FaceTimed me seconds after this happened because he had just drove here to record his episode.
I love how he's just like chilling in the. Well, it's not like he can get out and run around.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so he has a swing arm in the back that picks up his chair, and of course, I think it was a soldier that hit him 70 miles an hour at a complete stop. A military veteran.
2017 Nissan Murano crashed into him and totaled his truck on Thanksgiving Day.
Nissan Muranos.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's the tank of the hood.
Is it really?
Dude, Nissan Altimas. Nissan Altimas are, but.
Well, she's lucky that swing arm in the back of her truck didn't go through her sternum, to be honest. But he calls me from whatever.
There's a lot of jokes about women drivers here.
Nope, I'm not doing them.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Well, he calls me. We FaceTime at the hospital. I'm like, "Are you good?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro. I'm fine." Like, he can't be killed. He's fucking insane.
Yeah, right. Oh.
Yeah, he like literally can't die.
A car accident? Compared to what?
Yeah, he said coffee spilled, and he's like, "What do we do?" And I was like, "Here's what I need you to do: put all your photos together in a post, and we're gonna reach out to Ford. We're gonna reach out to USAA. All this stuff." USAA was like, "Whatever." They eventually got back to him. It's a whole thing.
USAA is.
The lack of competition hurts people. That's the problem.
They're
the only show in town. The lack of competition hurts people.
They charge way more than every other insurance company. Way more. They're like, hey, we take care of veterans and military members. You're like, that's funny because your premiums are sky high compared to literally everybody else. Because they're so small.
When they came on the scene, they were great.
Shit.
It was awesome, and now they're the only show in town. I'm not big on that. capitalism. We got to have the right to choose. Anyways, we put the post together. He's like, Zach, I don't know what to do. I'm like, TVA, put together this fucking post. He does. I write on there. I tag The Rock. I tag Ford. I go, everyone tag The Rock, tag Ford, whatever. Jump cut. There he is. There's the boy. I was supposed to be there, but this is the day I recorded my Jocko episode.
Why did they give him a reflective vest? He's already missing a leg and an arm. What more could happen to that guy? The dude in the suit next to him is just so arrogant with his all limbs. Just look at this. He's just showing it off, waving his arm that he.
That's the most current Ford of the Fords. Whatever. That's like Bill Ford, the 5th or 6th.
We got to give this guy a vest in case he gets injured. In case he gets injured.
Yeah, we don't want another case on our hand. We don't OSHA in here.
Actually, it makes kind of sense because this guy technically is the most accident-prone veteran they've ever met. You know what I mean?
So he watched them build it. They literally built it right in front of him, the whole thing. And
I never would have gotten into it. I'd be like, this is how you run your equipment?
Yeah. No, Ford reached out to him. They came up in a big way. And honestly, if I can thank an organization, I can't thank Ford enough. They didn't blink. He just got his new truck delivered. I'll have him send the photo to it. I have the photo actually. And so it's just really cool to see a company that really went above and beyond. And like, if there's anyone that deserves it, it's him. It's fucking cool as shit.
Starts at $77,000 for a Raptor.
Oh, they didn't just give him a Raptor.
What happened
they
to America, man? What happened where I could get a Chevy S10 or like a good Ford Ranger, not these weird Ford Rangers now?
Yeah. Yeah, the TRT Ford Rangers.
I don't like them.
They're weird.
They're weird.
I don't trust them because they're changing up the whole body and everything. And
it's a Chevy Traverse that they put a flatbed on. And I don't. Nope.
No, I don't trust it.
You want to talk about what else he's facing in the news?
Dude, how much time do we have?
What's going on? What do you mean he's facing? He's facing sounds like adversaries.
So the most recent, we pull up the article, please.
Yeah. Where is that?
So most recently, he was there in the withdrawal, right?
Yeah.
He was there in the withdrawal. He's very famously talked about on the Sean Ryan show. Go listen to that or the previous episode.
Fantastic episode.
Yeah. He's just a fucking him. But the third investigation just came out, and the findings were that basically they didn't have the right info.
Who didn't have the right info?
Him and his team.
Oh, even though he saw the guy that blew him. Okay.
Hang on.
Never mind. My bad.
Hang on.
My bad.
The findings review that he didn't have the right info and that they were wrong, and that's why the suicide bomber got through.
Oh,
now,
it's their fault.
Now, if you believe in the year of our Lord 2024 that they didn't do multiple investigations like they did until they found the right answer. This was the third one they did until they found the answer they liked. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to vote on anything moving forward. You can vote on American Idol, that's it. But anything else, you're not allowed to vote.
This supports the conclusion that the attack on Abbey was not preventable at the tactical level.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not true.
It's not true. They brought in his whole team to talk to him. And so, look into it. Watch the Sean Ryan episode. Check out the episode he did here. But if you really believe that that's true, again, you shouldn't be allowed to vote on anything. It's the third
General
one.
Milley is retired, right?
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
He went there to his thing, and he came up to shake Tyler's hand, and he's like, "Nah, dude."
No.
he was like, "No."
Yeah. How do you?
No. In front of all those families, in front of him.
Great withdrawal, guy. Special forces, huh?
It is weird. They seem to wrap it up just in time for an election year. Some would call that planned. Not me. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird, right? Wouldn't you say it's weird? I'm just a guy.
Who's vice president during Benghazi?
You said vice president?
Yeah.
Benghazi?
That had to have been Joe Biden, right?
Oh, it's Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
It's whatever. Who was president during the Afghan pullout?
Joe Biden?
Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, that's weird. What a correlation.
Wait, how? That's...
I don't know.
That's a coincidence.
Right? What?
I don't know. But the insinuation is basically not that they were wrong. They just didn't have the right information. Accidents happen. The fog of war. Because here's the reality of it. They're not going to blame Tyler and his team because it's
bad PR.
It's
but
bad
they're
PR.
blaming them.
They're blaming
They're
him.
saying, oh, it was a tactical mistake.
Yeah.
Which is the guys on the ground that are making the decisions that have to pull the trigger, which is E5s, E6s, and below.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of missing stuff that like verified their statements, oddly enough. Can't find any of it. But yeah, I literally told him yesterday, I was like, come out, we'll talk about it. And he's like, yeah, okay. Like, we're trying to plan a time because like, he's the way he handles everything with such a grace and such a fucking like, I don't give a fuck is just incredible.
Does that mean that like you're more involved because you know him? Mm-hmm. And I'm just here as a guest.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you and me via that connection are now involved in a government cover-up?
Blas too. yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so exciting.
It is exciting.
This,
yeah.
I mean,
You
to my
gotta bring-
knowledge, this is my first.
Here's your problem. You think the government doesn't care about you? They do care about you.
Yeah, they do.
That's why.
they need
That's
my
why
money.
they're saying only use these options. Only trust what we say.
That makes sense. Wait a second. That sounds oddly familiar to a conversation that we had but moments ago.
No, hey, dude, don't be weird. The government cares about you. They have your best interest at heart.
Government got my dishes.
The government loves you. You don't.
Hillary Clinton
They
said
love
I'm her
JFK
favorite.
too.
What?
They love JFK too.
They love JFK.
Junior?
They love JFK, RFK. I mean,
Is it? Wait, it's Robert Kennedy Jr., right?
he's the one that's still alive. He's saying the government
Yeah.
loves JFK. They loved him so much they gave him a final hug in Dallas.
Yeah, it's just like mice and men.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna pet him and
Yeah.
squeeze him and
Yep.
hug him.
Yep, and
until the Vietnam War keeps
Here's
going.
the thing: if they would do that to a president,
none of us.
Who's to say?
None of us are
Isn't
proper
it funny that like those like CIA tapes or the FBI tapes are out there, and there's like, yes, we had something to do with the JFK assassination. You're like,
That's weird.
wait, please expand on that. What does that mean? There's just papers and documents and people that are confirmed. It's not like this is a conspiracy
This is not.
theory.
It's not a conspiracy
This is
theory.
they say
Manual reviewer, let it go. It's documented.
it's
RFK Jr. talks about it himself.
Yeah, it's like they state that they were involved in the assassination of JFK. They don't say how. They just say that they were involved.
Yep.
Which is like, okay, so you're involved in looking at people. You're involved in planning it.
Yep.
You're involved in trying to prevent it. Like what? And if you're trying to prevent it, why wouldn't you put that information out there?
They don't want to put it out there. I mean, I don't know. I trust the government. Dear government, I'm on your side.
Let's
I'm
pray.
on your side.
Dear government,
Dear government,
if you could please protect us from all the things that are bad without me knowing exactly what you do in the darkness, I would please appreciate that. Dear government, if you could please send billions and billions of dollars overseas to wars that we're not really in, but kind of in because we're supporting, so that we don't send American troops. I hope that you do. Because one, that's actually really complicated, man.
yeah.
That's actually-
Hey, man, thank you, dear government.
Dude, Israel and Ukraine are really complicated because I'm in this weird thing where I don't want to send all of my money.
Yeah.
And boy, it sure has been a lot
It's been a lot.
overseas
It
to
appeared
somebody,
out of nowhere.
not the U.S.
Yep.
But at the same time, I also don't want to send troops over there.
Hell yeah. I don't
And
want to do
I'm
that
like,
either.
so like not like the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House said that exact same thing. It's like my kid's in the Naval Academy. Which I'm like, oh my God, your son is serving?
Yeah.
Oh my God, a member of Congress that has children in the military? They exist?
The sad reality is there are no easy decisions to be made because
Correct.
we have committed, for better or worse, and only time will tell what that is. But to both of these wars, conflicts, whatever you want to call them, and we can't just stop now. But I don't want to send troops.
And people are like, well, you can't stop. And we're like, well, Ukraine says that they're going to pay us back. So do
yeah.
we let Ukraine lose then to never get the money?
Yeah.
And then have Russia take over this massive swath of land next to Poland? But Poland's freaking out.
Yeah.
Poland's like, this is World War II all over again.
This is literally how it started.
on our border.
Yeah, it's literally how it starts.
But at the same time, you're like, I don't want to spend any more money.
No, and I understand that. What is it Shane Gillis says? He's like, slowly every man our age becomes a Republican werewolf.
Yeah.
like it just comes out of
Just
you.
with, like you have to fight it back every day, but
Like,
then
I'm like-
why there's so many immigrants? I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, it's
What happened to Building 7? Like I'm just like taxes. Why are they so high? We went to war over 2%. Now it's at 40%.
I'm learning more about the battle of World War II that's oddly specific.
Must smoke meats. Must smoke meats. Traeger.
I don't understand all these different genders. He pops up.
Just like you like pop out, put a zit in your mouth, and you just look like Tucker Carlson, like
Shoulder holster, open carry.
yeah. That's the way we all end up.
It almost sounds like a WWE transformation of some character.
Hey there, bro. Hey there, brother. Have you looked at your auto insurance policy?
Oh, yeah. I want to let you know something, big government. Yeah, all right. I'm going to take these taxes, all right. They're way too high. I want to lower them. Lower them way down. Oh, yeah. Lower those taxes way down. Yeah.
Guy, your Macho Man's way better than mine.
Thank you.
Just like everything else you do. We come back, we'll talk more about VSOs and just why me and Rich can't get into the USO. We'll be right back. Hope you guys are enjoying the episode. If you want to continue to hear more stories like this and to help us grow the podcast, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and to also drop a rating and review. Every bit helps. Thank you so much. Now, let's get back to the episode. And we're back with the man, myth, legend, Angry Cops. You know who he is. He's out here doing his thing. To find out more, go to angry-cops.com.
All the links are there.
All the
YouTube's,
links are there. Website.
The live stream channel, the normal channel.
Here we go.
Hamas people, not innocent people.
Manual reviewer. Just come on. We have some other things I really want to discuss. We'll start out with this and we'll end. We'll start out light. We'll end heavy.
How about you just don't tell me when we're going to end it? We just talk and have a conversation.
No. I'm thinking in my head of the order. The USO. You can use it. I can't use it. He can't use it. What's the deal? What's the deal with the USO?
Why won't they let us eat peanuts?
Yeah. Why won't they give me a Costco bottle of water?
So you brought this up because I have a story, and the story is very quick. I was in San Antonio, and there's a USO there in San Antonio. I think it was San Antonio. Houston. And I'm there with Eli Double Tap. I'm there with Nick, Fat Electrician, and Show. And so
and Cody.
But Cody was without taking a big poop.
Yeah.
So it's me, 2 veterans, and then a non-veteran Show. Very wonderful woman.
Lovely
showrunner.
Irish lady. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure a direct descendant of Ewan McGregor.
Really?
Yeah. No.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe. So
I do a good Show impression. You want to hear it? It's her every time she's like reviewing an unsubscribe episode. She goes, "I've made a grave error."
I've made a grave error.
Yeah.
So we go to the USO, and there's an old gentleman behind it who's a volunteer, and God bless him, he's very nice. And I go, "Hello, how are you doing, sir?" I go, "I'm currently serving." I go, "Do you have room for 2 veterans and a friend of mine?" And he's just like, "Ooh, no." And I was thrown back because it was a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
It was almost basically empty.
Kind of like a, blah, blah, blah.
There was
banter.
like 15, 20 seats, and I think 4 of them were taken in the USO. And so it was a joke. Like, "Hey, you got room for me and some veterans?" Of course you do. It's USO. You take care of veterans and military that are still in. And he's like, "No." And I was like, "I don't understand. I'm confused."
Please continue.
And then I read the USO statutes. And the USO statutes say, "Hey, listen, we have limited funds. We have limited things we can do. And our primary focus is taking care of current military members that are currently serving. Serving military members," which I understand. Hey, listen, man, if I've got a children non-for-profit, because USO is a non-for-profit.
Yep.
If I've got a children's cancer non-for-profit, I can't take care of kids that are in wheelchairs and kids that are paralyzed and kids that are born with some sort of, disability, because I can only focus on one thing. Otherwise, my money gets spread out too far.
Yep.
And who are you and anybody to tell another business how to run? So I get it. We got to limit ourselves. But here's the thing, Zach. Here's what makes me a little irritated.
Go on.
You have open seats that are unused, that all they need, and this is all they cost, is just an ass in the chair to watch TV and soak up the Wi-Fi for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
What cost is there to allow me and 3 other people, 2 of which are veterans that served, just to take open the extra seat? Even if you say, "Hey, listen, guys, I love you. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you. You're doing great. If active military members come in here, we're going to have to ask you to leave. But until then, you're more than welcome to take up a seat." Okay, fine, sweet. Then have the awkward conversation with me, and I'll do standing room only. Otherwise, what am I costing you more than Wi-Fi, which you're already paying for, and a free bag of Lay's potato chips?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Which was donated.
Which was probably, and here's my other thing.
Most of the stuff in the USO cost structure is donated. I believe, I don't know if we can Google this or not. I believe almost all of their space is donated from the airports.
So here's my issue, right?
Yeah.
In a nutshell, and we'll get deeper into this.
Yeah.
If everything you have is paid for,
Yeah.
and what isn't being used is just empty space, waste. Why not allow, when you have that empty space, veterans and their families to come in and utilize the 0 cost to sit down and maybe a couple Gatorades and some Lay's potato chips, put a sign out front that says,
please donate.
Please.
Put down your email. That way we can contact you. And guess what? That's a good business decision because now you can send out blaster emails or text messages and saying, hey, you recently utilized a USO. We would really support it. We'd really appreciate it if you could support us and our continued efforts for the military community. But instead, you cut yourself off at the fucking knees. Am I taking crazy pills?
It feels that way.
Oh, by the way, not every airport has a USO. A lot of them have, get ready for this, veteran centers where a veteran can go with his family, not a currently active military member, and sit down and chill. Detroit has an amazing one. Detroit's is absolutely gorgeous.
Is it like a veterans lounge or something?
It's like veterans lounge. Yeah.
There's a few of them. I know that airports decide whether or not they want a USO or a veterans lounge. And the issue usually comes down to is that the USO has a lot of rules.
Yeah, like stupid rules.
And they're like, no, we'll just do a veterans lounge. We'll just do it like a military. There's like one. What is it?
It's a write-off for the airport. Honestly, the USO does a lot of things other than airports, right?
Yeah.
The USO is a great thing. This is just my small pick on something that they're doing already that I feel like they're doing wrong, right? They do 10 things right, and then they made a mistake on number 11. And I'm like, hey, these 10 things you're doing are great. I think you're a great organization. You take care of the troops. You make some funny things. You go,
Yeah.
This is one of the things I have an issue with. Like, why not just make this an easy fix? By the way, business-wise, you're expanding the amount of people that utilize just empty space, no cost to you, and now you're getting more support because you're going to say, hey, here's that text messages on your phone. Hey, you were just at this.
Yeah.
Would you like to donate $5?
Why? Yes, I'm saying, like, why not be like, hey, if you're a veteran, make a donation. You can come in. Would you do that? I would.
Hey.
I make a donation. I've been lit into a few. They're like, hey, you can come in.
But if you're a veteran, if you're not a current military member, we require a $5 donation. You're like, okay, sweet.
Okay.
What's the Wi-Fi password? $5? Sweet. I'm here for
usually
3
USO
hours.
airport name. Yeah. It's just USO BNA.
6969.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. But I never used the USO while I was active duty.
I've used it a couple of times when I've had long layovers.
I only used it when I was like, I got to boot camp and they put you in one. And
They like demand that you stay in it. You're like, don't you fucking move, private. And we're like,
yeah, there's like one like that. There's one in Chicago where I got stuck for a day. But like, besides the fact they don't let veterans in as a whole, they just need to expand it, honestly, because it would help expand their influence. What really eats me up is the people that they have as ambassadors. The money that they're wasting on like random NCIS celebrities or,
let's talk about one part in particular.
Don't. Which one?
We're going to talk about one.
Lil
Yachty. You sent me this because we like talked about this and it irritated me the one day a lot. And then you were like, yeah, this kind of irritates me too. And then you have a deeper dive because once again, you're intelligent. You've ran, businesses, non-for-profits. You have your master's degree in business. And you send me this thing. Here you go. Rich, there is a meet and greet, a virtual meet and greet with Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty is a rapper. He's very talented.
An urban lyricist.
Correct.
Yes.
He's written a lot of songs for a lot of people. He's very, very talented. You may not know all of his songs that he's performed, but his reach in the rap community, in the hip hop community is massive.
Yeah.
He's done a lot. And they're like, hey, we're the USO, and we're going to have an online meet and greet where you can ask Lil Yachty some questions. Who went to that?
I don't know.
Who went online?
I couldn't sign up for it.
50 people?
There's no way.
You're paying this massive rap star, probably, I'm going to say 6 figures.
I'll say for him.
Just for a show up, just for like the
200?
year. Oh, yeah. Let's just say he's got a couple of these things to do a year. Let's say he's got like quarterly.
He's
got to do this quarterly.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
And he gets $800,000.
I believe that.
For like, an hour out of
a Zoom
4
call.
times. Yeah, a Zoom call 4 times a year.
A Zoom.
How much money are you wasting on that and not promoting it and saying, hey, by the way, we've got this guy who's really a big deal. Now we need to put out the blasters to the world and say, hey, if you're a part of the USO, you need to capitalize on this and talk to this guy and listen to what he says.
Yeah.
Instead, you spend a whole bunch of money on a dude and then no publicity, so nobody looks at the dude that you're paying for to do what the dude does.
What it had like 2 likes or something?
Yeah.
Like
their post had like 3 or 4 likes. Like, sorry, your Instagram channel sucks. Nobody looks at the USO Instagram channels. What you need to do is just literally take, hey, listen, Lil Yachty, instead of 4, we're going to do 3 a year.
Yeah.
And we're going to take the extra $200,000+ that we're not going to spend on you and blast it out $80,000 every time that you go on there, on Instagram accounts, on YouTubes, on Facebooks.
Think about what you could do with that if they came to you with that sponsorship. What I could do with that. What we could do with that, the podcast. Like how many more people we could actually.
If it's the USO,
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey man, $4,000.
Yeah.
Give me
Listen, but
$4,000.
that's what I'm saying,
I'll
like-
make a video for you. I'll fucking blast it on all my social medias more than once. I will help you. I'll take a loss
Yeah.
for what businesses would pay me
Yeah.
for the commercials that I put in on my YouTube
Yeah.
channel, right? And I'll go far and above beyond just the YouTube channel, gladly.
Yeah.
But no,
Not Lil Yachty.
can't do that.
Can't do that.
We have to spend $1 million on Lil Yachty and then waste it. Oh, but by the way, can't give veterans potato chips when they go
Can't
to
get
the
better
USO.
attention. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to say it feels like money laundering, but it feels like they're washing a little bit of cash because, like, even the people that they pick, I don't care if they pick me or they pick you or they pick Eli or Donut or whoever.
Oh, you
Whoever-
mean the alleged sexual assault guy?
I don't care who they pick.
Yeah.
What
Can
I
you pull up the alleged sexual assault guy that Demi Lovato made songs about that may have potentially led to her downfall and mental fragility?
You said Demi Lovato who? What?
it's Wilmer Valderrama.
Oh.
Yeah. Wilmer.
She was 17, he was 29.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. Demi Lovato drags X. Yeah. New track 29 when they were dating.
Yeah. So what's it? Can you pull up Wilmer's face?
This is in Rolling Stone. Let the record show. Yeah.
Okay. So that's Wilmer on that 70s show, by the way.
He's also on NCIS, whatever the fuck.
Hated the show.
Yeah.
NCIS, don't watch any of them because they're all just such
Procedurals.
overproduced garbage nonsense.
Yeah.
That's your guy. That's your guy. You're telling me Make-A-Wish has John Cena and we got Demi Lovato diddler when she was a teenager? Are you serious? This is who you're going for? Lil Yachty's a great thing, but you didn't promote him for shit. Like, what are you talking about? What are you doing here, USO? And what do they do? Like, what exactly do they do? They show up to an event and shake some hands and say, I'm an ambassador. Hey, promote the USO.
Hey, whoa. Hey, Rich, you know young privates and young PFCs, they want to meet Wilmer Valderrama. They definitely love NCIS.
I didn't know his name until literally right now.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's not. Can you imagine getting like voluntold? Hey, hi, you're gonna go meet Wilder Valmer. What? Why am I going to meet him?
Why isn't the USO Olive Branch? Once again, because I'm not mad at you forever. Why doesn't the USO just be like, hey, Zero Blog 30, you're huge in the veteran sphere. Why don't we give them 20 grand to do a live podcast at a couple different military posts?
Or even better, unsubscribe.
Or unsubscribe podcasts. Just like people that are in the veteran community
I'll do a
already.
live podcast.
And if you're like, we don't know who to ask, go to a fucking 20-year-old that's serving.
Yeah.
How is this that difficult?
Yeah.
Why is business, no offense, you need a master's degree in business for this shit?
I mean, we could do live, right, Blas?
Yeah.
We'll do live. We'll do, like, it's not that hard.
Well,
It's just,
I mean, this is
no, I'm saying production. I understand.
This is a garbage clip. He's like, Rich, you want a 40 to drink? I'm like, am I at home? No, man.
Oh,
I had to buy my own plane ticket out here because we're friends. This is the stupidest shit I've ever done in my entire life to help support a friend. Dumbest.
Friends
Picking fights
like-
on the internet with strangers because you need the clout.
Yeah,
He wearing
exactly.
his glasses inside like he's fucking Casey Neistat. This is. No, I got knockoff Casey Neistat here.
yeah, TBI Casey
I got
Neistat.
Casey Nas stat. You're just sitting there with a Nas energy drink, just hammering it as a corporal.
You're right. It does look cool. These glasses are from Wiley X. Everyone should check them out. WileyX.com. So yeah,
Zach actually wears his hat forward before the podcast, and then he looks at me and goes, "All right, it's business time." And then he turns it around backwards like Sylvester Stallone and Over the Top.
Over the top.
you know what's funny? Every now and then I'll get like a sea of old dudes in my comments, and the first thing they comment about is my hat. And they'll be like, I can't take him seriously with his hat like that. Like, turn your hat around, son. It literally
That's the guy that just puts, like, I got 1911 is all I need. 2 world wars. That's the same guy.
It's the same
Some
dude.
old fud.
Same dude. So you called me Sylvester Stallone. That's the way I heard it. The hero. Man, he really put trucking on the map with that movie, huh?
Yeah, he's the one that put trucking on the map.
Yeah, he did. No, actually, it was
It was America that put trucking on the map.
Smoking the Bandit did. You're welcome. One of the greatest movies ever, by the way, Smoking the Bandit.
Never got all the way through it.
It's really good. I like it a lot. It's just classic Burt being a cool dude.
Bert's just a cool dude.
He's just a cool dude. He's no modern day Knight, though. What was that?
Is it a layup?
Yeah,
Is it a bump set spike?
that was it.
It's about to happen.
The modern day Knight. Now, I said this, I misspoke. I said this is one of your greatest, not takedowns, one of your greatest reviews that I've seen because the way you did it.
Review.
Not review. What
I'm
is-
a review channel now.
Not a review. I don't know what the word is.
I don't know. It's just like you could just go
Dismantling?
like in-depth reporting.
Reporting.
Thank you.
You're a journalist.
Wow.
Wow, that would actually probably change your algorithms quite a lot. 2 journalists here. 2 journalists, but
2 journalists walk into a bar.
yeah. And then they say, it was the bar's fault. No.
It was a
Talking
mostly
about the
peaceful
modern
bar.
day, yeah, it was mostly peaceful. Talking about the modern day Night project. Now, we had Sam Mackey in here recently. He kind of got me and Blas on the fence on it.
Who's Sam Malaki?
He owns Outsiders and Navy SEAL, and like you'd never know, but like his selling point was like these are people that are actually the people that sign up for it. He does believe they're getting taken advantage of, but he doesn't. His point was that they're really desperate to have some type of like bonding moment.
Yes, I understand that.
And so and I was like, you know what? That makes sense to me. However, I don't like the way it's happening.
So for those of you that don't know what the MDK project is, it's murder, death, kill. I'm sorry. It's the Modern Day Night Project.
Yeah.
And it's $18,000 in order for you to get 72 hours of your ass kicked.
Yep.
Like physically.
Yep.
And then to also learn quote unquote entrepreneuring. And in entrepreneuring, from what I'm told, and from some of the things that the owners and the instructors, and I use that term loosely, say, is that they're getting like entrepreneur classes on how to run their business properly, time management. They talk about the trauma that they've been in and how you need to defeat that trauma, how you need to overcome adversity and things like that. Now, like you said, there are men that need that. And there's nothing wrong with
that.
men needing assistance in trying to become accountable, trying to be more responsible, honing their businesses. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's a plus. However, the way that MDK does it, which is my gripe, is that they grift off of the military experience in order to do so. If you want to make some dudes cry by doing a bunch of push-ups and then hold them and say, look at me, look at me, say that you're strong and not weak. You can do that. You can weep into a grown man's chest as a stranger that you paid tens of thousands of dollars for.
You should quit. No one likes you. Yeah.
You're a fucking weak, fat piece of shit.
Yeah,
Your neck
kick
is
down.
dumb.
Down and up. And honestly, most people have never done anything like this. So it is a genuine shock to their system.
Correct.
Yeah.
But what they do is they steal the military experience, they grift it, they boil it down to
just phase 1 bullshit.
Not even phase 1 bullshit. It's man, it's like a really bad copy and paste without understanding what the copy and paste is about. And
you're uniquely qualified to understand the game behind the game because you are a drill instructor.
Yeah, because I'm an actual trainer of troops.
Yes.
I turn civilians into soldiers.
You literally understand there is a method to the madness.
I know what the method is. I know the limits to the method. I know that sometimes that those limits can be pushed, but I also know why the limits are there, what to look for in the individual and the group.
Yeah.
I've also been trained medically and like what to look for in the individual and the group so that I'm not crushing them. And what these pieces of shit do is they just haze these guys for no reason, which you need a reason for hazing. There should be a point to hazing. And then they grift. And here's how they grift. They have all these military, ex-military Navy SEALs, Marine, fucking airmen, whatever. They do the sugar cookies and buds. They do the instructor yelling.
They
They're all
throw
even
them in the water
They're
just
dressed
like it's
in black
bugs.
and shit too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
And you can tell that it's a total military grift because they take a bell, just like buds, and you
Famously.
have to ring the bell in order to quit. And their bell doesn't say MDK on it. No, it says U.S. Navy.
Weird.
So you're literally stealing
Look
the
at
Buds U.S. Navy thing.
at it. It's doing the whole thing, yeah.
And here it is. And here's the Navy.
Yeah.
Bullshit
We'll,
stuff.
we'll put this in, but yeah.
And they're just like, this is it. No, it's a grift. It's a horrible, disgusting
is why
grift.
you're a bad dad. Yeah.
Because you guys don't like getting cold in the water.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
No, I mean, like I said, I do like men do need an experience. I think you're supposed to push yourself. And in general, everyone does. Everyone not in the military
Look
suffers.
at that guy cheating with his fucking head on his buddy's
Yeah,
chest.
yeah.
Like, he can't move, so it's not my fault.
Yeah.
No, that's something I would call out.
Oh, no. See, but you know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing.
Listen.
I
pause it right there. Pause it right there. Pause it right. Okay, so this is Bedros Cooley right?
Coolian.
So here's the deal.
Coolian? I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur.
There's nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with making a bunch of businesses and failing in a million of them, and then on the million and one is the one that makes you successful.
makes this country
That's
fucking great.
Very great.
It's fucking incredible.
You want to be a stereotypical dude on TRT who makes his fucking living off of grifting off the military service of which he never served, and then pretending
Don't
to
look at
sell
me.
you. Pretending to sell you on the military experience that makes you better, even though he doesn't know shit about it.
Yep.
Stealing everything from what makes us who we are,
Us.
but without any of the actual like history, lore, benefits. No. You don't get to do that. And then this idiot,
Yep.
after I made my video, made a mistake, Zach. Made a mistake.
What'd he do?
Called me out. But you know how he did it?
How?
No, he did it.
I remember he goes, angry cops.
Did
and
it
I
like
was-
a coward.
Yep.
Guess how he did it?
How?
On a story. Something that gets deleted in 24 hours that you don't have any comments for underneath. No retort. Oh. And so when
kids, that's what we call in the reference. That's what we call in the business callback.
I call that,
Callback.
call that a callback. Also call it bitch move.
Yep.
So Bedros does a bitch move to me. And he goes, hey man, here's the deal. I really respect Angry Cops. I love his stuff. What he's doing right here, he's doing it for the clicks, and which I respect because I'm a businessman and I need the clicks too, so I get it. But you know what? What I want to do is I want to invite him out here to even be a guest instructor.
Nope.
And I'll give $5,000 to his fucking charity that he chooses. And I'm like, sweet. That's great. You know what's really funny is that the fucking bald Steven, who is the instructor, who's a Marine, by the way, that was in from 1995 to 2001, and then got out after 9/11 happened and didn't come back in and watched all of his friends deploy like a coward. That's right. He let all of his friends deploy, and he rides the veteran grift, but he never stayed in after 9/11. Some people might call that, a red flag. So his buddy, Steven, the bitch instructor, makes like I don't know if I don't think they watched the video. I didn't spend time on it, but because they're garbage and all they're looking for is more spotlight. He makes a post on their Instagram. He's just like, hey, I got a 45-minute video. It's a little long. It's a little long-winded, making fun of my 45-minute long video on like this and how it's an alpha male camp and blah, blah, blah. And in the description of his Instagram post about this stupid video that's just whatever. He's like, I'll give $15,000 to Angry Cops, whatchamacallit?
Veterans organization.
Charity of his choice.
You're cheesing, yeah.
If he comes, just to try it out and just does it for himself, which is odd because the owner only offered me $5,000, but the bald guy offered me 15. And guys, I hate to tell you this, I enjoy telling you this. I'm busy. I've got shit going on in my life. And I'm going to tell you one of the things is training civilians to soldiers, because I still do that as a drill sergeant, albeit in the reserves, but I did stay in after 9/11.
You did.
So there's that. I don't have time playing your video game knockoff version of Navy SEALs because I'm actually training the next fighting generation of America's soldiers in real life.
Now. Like right now.
Time me out.
Time now.
Time me out.
Yeah.
See you at Camp Leonardwood, kids. End of June through mid-July.
Welcome to hell.
SA-ons, engineers. I'll fucking see ya.
Yeah.
Garbage.
So
they call me out, but with not even so anyway, so this is why I say this. So Bedros, cool jizz.
Kool-Aid Man. Bedros Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Bedros Kool-Aid Man and instructor Steve, they make their posts, right? And Kool-Aid Man says in his thing, you know, I like, you know, Angry Cops. He's a great guy. You know, I'm going to link a podcast that I do to this that explains what we're actually about.
No.
And I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. So I watched the clips of the podcast that he was on. He doesn't even know my fucking handle when he's on the podcast. He's like, there's a guy. He's a military or police or something. Angry man, something.
Do you think that was? Do you think that was on purpose?
And he was, and I'm like, no, that's just what it is. Because his original post of "I like Angry Cops and I love him" is bullshit. He doesn't know who the fuck I am.
Yeah,
he doesn't care who I am.
Yep.
He didn't watch the video. Neither did Bald Ass Steve.
Yep.
Because one of the things that Steve's bitches about is, I was just a pogue. Bro, I'm not calling you out for being a pogue. I'm a pogue. I mean, I'm an engineer now. I was a civil affairs psychological operations soldier back in the day. Still a pogue. Still a pogue. I called you out because you're a wannabe fucking drill instructor because he's in the Marines, and you didn't fucking stay in after 9/11. And I don't give a shit if you're a pogue. You can be a pogue all you want, but your pogue friends all deployed, and you didn't after 9/11. I sound like Lois Griffin on Family Guy when she's running for office.
Yeah.
I just say 9/11 over and over again,
9/11.
and I expect people clapping. Except instead of people clapping, it's Bald Steve running away and hiding instead of deploying with his friends. 9/11. That's what'll happen if I ever get on a podcast with him. I'll say 9/11, and he'll fucking run because he'll think a deployment's coming. I mean, he is a marathon runner. He probably ran faster away from a deployment than he did any of his marathons.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't like to tear down veterans, but I like to call out assholes for being pieces of shit when they're pieces of shit.
It's not tearing down, right? What you're talking about is if there's anyone who can talk about this stuff in this community, it's us. And ever since I've seen it, my whole thing is I don't like that they're selling access to my world.
Yeah.
Under false pretenses.
It's like cultural appropriation.
It literally is. It literally is cultural appropriation. So like
like a racist stereotype of it. You're in the army and you get exactly what I went through if you just do some push-ups and ring a bell to quit.
Yeah, no,
it's different than that.
That's the easiest fucking part.
Well, at the end of the 72 hours, we put you in a body bag and you dig your own grave.
No.
And then you sit in there and you close and you think about what you went through. And when we unzip it, it's like a rebirth. Like, no. That's the most...
I've also carried body bags. I'm not fucking doing that.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to hear your opinions on anything.
Right.
Like, and I understand that there is a rite of passage saying men have always looked for, like, some access to masculinity, and trauma bonding is very fucking real. I just don't like that they're, like, picking parts that
they're manufacturing fake trauma in order to try and build a brand. And they're doing it. They're building a brand on fake trauma. Do you know what our trauma is built on? Preparing for war.
Yeah.
Actually having a cost at the end of the day, whether it be your life or my life, or the loss of our limbs, like friends of ours.
Yes.
Or the traumatic brain injuries, and then our
the
fucking
ongoing
friends
health issues
off themselves when they come home. Like, that's our trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Not some bullshit that you're doing in the middle of a beach to try and bro up your fucking shitty business.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hot. I'm getting really, I'm actually
far
getting
longer
really
than
mad.
72 hours.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said far longer than 72 hours, by the way. At a minimum, 9
Because when I
weeks.
think about it, what they're selling the good parts, right? They're selling the good parts, but
What they think is
what
good
they
parts.
think is what they think is good parts. But you're talking like, until you've given a folded flag, or you put someone in the ground before their children, don't fucking talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me. You've had to look at some family and be like, I don't know what happened. I wish things were different. I wish we didn't have to do this. That's what it really is.
They can be great guys. Like I said, I don't care if you fail a million times at a business as an entrepreneur, and then you pass that one. You've got other shit you can do as a business owner. What you're doing in this specific incident is fucking bullshit. And the longer you don't stop, the more I think you're a shitty person. And tell me I'm wrong. I don't think I am. Rarely in my life. I'm a humble guy, even though I talk a lot of shit on the internet. If I'm wrong, I'll eat that dick sandwich. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. These assholes aren't changing. They're doubling down on their fucking grift.
Yeah.
Throw me an ice bath, Instructor Steve. You'll have a fucking hard day.
As I always say, I might be wrong, but I'll never tell you a lie.
There you go. I
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I'll never tell you a lie.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Actually, clip that. No, well, it's just I don't know because Sam had me on the fence with it, but like now I'm back. Boss, I'm back on the other side. I have no spine, is what it comes down to. But it's just like your video because like as you're talking about it, like the trauma and stuff associated with it, because that's really like having all the fucking issues after war and stuff. That's really what they're like. Oh yeah, you're kind of like that now. You're kind of like that now because you did push-ups. Wasn't it itchy? Remember when you had to climb that hill? That guy yelled at you. Wasn't that itchy? Wasn't that uncomfortable? Oh man, you have blisters. Boss said it before. Do a marathon. Do something else. Push yourself. Like find something inside of you to challenge you. But like,
and how many people that didn't quit because it was hard and they couldn't handle it, but because they decided to single that person out and just go, he just needs to go. Like we need to make so many people fail, so this guy's got to go.
They want to pump up their attrition numbers for sure. Oh, only X.
Listen, if
60% pass.
If I decide to kick out a turd that's not ready for it, that's because I know that what happens in the future for people to rely on him, he doesn't have it yet. And when he makes that mark, then he can stay. But these guys are just like, I need to kick out people, so then it just seems, exotic.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Now you're just intentionally making people waste their money because of like some random, what do you call it? Like lottery that, you know what? I think that guy needs to quit. I think that guy needs to quit.
Yeah, it's not merit.
So I'm just gonna
merit-based.
pick on these. Yeah, it's not merit based.
Yeah. Unlike the military, which is the best. Not the best. One of my favorite things about it. At the end of the day, military is hard. It's complicated. But if you fucking do what you're told and you're good at it, you'll fucking succeed.
Yep.
It's based off of merit. As we're closing here, Mr. Angry Cops, do you have anything else that you like to leave these fine people with? Any words of wisdom?
Yeah. Tony Gonzalez is a liar and he can go suck my dick. District 23 belongs to Brandon Herrera. Don't you ever call one of my friends a Nazi, you fucking shiny four-headed fuck.
And that's all for us here at the After Action Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Angry Cops, go to www.angry-cops.com for all of your AC apparel, technology, internet needs.
Yeah. Hashtag Tiny Balls Tony.
Okay, that's it. We're done.